Welcome and thank you for joining us. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I am Tanziba Noreen. Today we have brought top and trending news from across the nation and the world. Let's begin with the headlines. Biden administration announces actions against Russian election manipulation. Trump admitted he lost 2020 election by a narrow margin. Trump says he has exacting plan for Ukraine and China. Judge tells Trump campaign to stop playing Isaac Hayes' song during events. At least 4 killed, 30 injured in shooting at Appalachian High School in Georgia. Former NY8 and husband accused of taking bribes from China. Elon Musk's Starlink agrees to suspend X in Brazil following court order. Venezuelan security forces linked to fatalities in post-election protests, says Human Rights Watch. New Democratic Party withdraws support for Trudeau's Liberals. Grenfell Tower fire inquiry accuses UK government and firms of grave failures. Carolina Mukova defeats Haddad Maya to advance to US Open semis. And American swimmer Lynn Smith secures gold medal 2 years after lung collapse. You are listening to Headlines Now News in detail. The US Departments of Justice and Treasury announced new measures Wednesday targeting alleged Russian efforts to sway US public opinion ahead of the November election. Attorney General Merrick Garland revealed that the DOJ had unsealed an indictment in New York charging two RT employees with money laundering and violations of the Foreign Agents Registration Act. Konstantin Kalishnikov and Elena Afanasieva are accused of funneling nearly 10 million to a Tennessee-based company to spread pro-Russian content through US influencers. The Treasury Department imposed sanctions on 10 individuals and two entities linked to Russia, including the pro-Russian activist group Reddit, led by Alexei Alexeyevich Gerashchenko, who has ties to Russian intelligence. The US government continues to monitor and disrupt foreign attempts to interfere in elections. The Director of National Intelligence had earlier warned about Russian efforts to undermine US support for Ukraine and influence the 2024 election. The Biden administration aims to counteract these threats to ensure election security. Former President Donald Trump admitted that he lost the 2020 presidential election, stating in a podcast interview with Lex Friedman that he lost by a whisker. Trump made this acknowledgement during a discussion released on Tuesday, marking a departure from his usual claims that the election was rigged. Trump, who received about 74 million votes in 2020 compared to Joe Biden's 81 million, mentioned that he had been told if he received 63 million votes, he would have won. However, despite getting millions more, he acknowledged the narrow loss. Even though Trump admitted his defeat, he still cast doubt on the election during the podcast, claiming the election was a fraud. This statement aligns with his ongoing legal battles, including four federal felony charges related to his efforts to overturn the 2020 election results. Trump is expected to plead not guilty to these charges. With the 2024 election approaching, Republicans have already started filing lawsuits in key battleground states, leading Democrats to warn that these legal actions could create doubt if Trump loses again. Former President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that he has a guaranteed plan to end the Ukraine war, but will only disclose it if he wins the November presidential election. Trump, who is currently running neck and neck with Democratic nominee Vice President Kamala Harris, made the comments on the Lex Fridman podcast. He stated, "If I win as president elect, I will have a deal made, guaranteed." That's a word that shouldn't have happened. Trump also mentioned having an idea for handling China, though he did not provide details, citing the need for surprise. He said, "I have a very exacting plan how to stop Ukraine and Russia, and I have a certain idea, maybe not a plan, but an idea for China." Trump's remarks are similar to tactics used by his allies in Congress earlier this year, who opposed a bipartisan immigration plan to prevent the Biden Harris administration from gaining credit on a major 2024 issue. A federal judge in Atlanta ruled Tuesday that former President Donald Trump must cease using the song "Hold On, I'm Coming" during his campaign events. This decision followed a lawsuit filed by the state of Isaac Hayes Jr., which accused Trump and his campaign of copyright infringement. The lawsuit, filed last month, claimed that Trump and his campaign used the song without permission, violating copyright laws. The judge granted an emergency injunction to stop the song's use but denied the request to remove existing videos featuring it. Trump's attorney Ronald Coleman stated that the campaign had already stopped using the song. The Hayes family expressed gratitude for the judge's decision, emphasizing that the case is about protecting artists' rights. Earlier, artists like Celine Dion and Bruce Springsteen had also objected to Trump using their music. The lawsuit argues that Trump's use of the song could mislead the public into believing there is an endorsement. The litigation is ongoing, and Trump's campaign argues that it had a license to use the song and that the case involves complex issues of copyright and fair use. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. On Wednesday morning, September 4, a shooting at Appalachian High School in Winter, Georgia left 4 people dead and several others injured. Authorities confirmed that the suspect, believed to be a 14-year-old male, was alive and in custody. The Barrow County Sheriff's Office received a report of an active shooter at 10:23 a.m. Law enforcement quickly responded and all schools in the district were placed on lockdown. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation reported that 9 people were taken to local hospitals. During a press conference, Sheriff Jude Smith called it a very fluid investigation. Students were evacuated to the football field where they later reunited with their families. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris were briefed on the situation, and federal support was offered to local authorities. The incident has prompted renewed calls for gun control legislation. Attorney General Merrick Garland stated that the Justice Department is ready to assist the GBI and local authorities in the investigation. The community remains in shock as the investigation continues. Linda Sun, a former top aide to New York Governor Kathy Hochul, and her husband Chris Hu faced serious charges on Tuesday. Prosecutors allege they were involved in a bribery scheme with China, receiving luxurious items such as a $3.5 million mansion on Long Island, a $2.1 million condo in Honolulu, and a 2024 Ferrari. They also allegedly got over a dozen Nanjing-style salted ducks, a delicacy, from a Chinese official. The indictment claims Sun, who was the deputy chief of staff under Governor Hu Ku, used her position to benefit the Chinese government in exchange for millions of dollars. Her husband, who reportedly laundered money and used fake identification to open bank accounts. Sun and Hu both pleaded not guilty to the charges, which include money laundering and visa fraud. Sun was released on a 1.5 million bond and Hu on a 500,000 bond. Governor Hu Ku said Sun's actions were a betrayal and federal prosecutors have seized the couple's assets. The investigation is ongoing. Elon Musk's Starlink said Tuesday it would comply with the Brazilian Supreme Court order to block access to his social media platform X. This decision came after the court, led by Justice Alexandre de Moraes, froze Starlink's assets to enforce the order. Initially, Starlink had told Brazil's telecommunications regulator Anatel that it would not comply until de Moraes reversed the decision. However, in a statement posted on X, the company announced it would now follow the order despite ongoing legal disputes. De Moraes had imposed the freeze to compel Starlink to cover fines exceeding $3 million imposed on X. The court's action also included suspending X due to its failure to name a local legal representative essential for handling legal notifications and takedown requests. Musk had publicly criticized de Moraes, calling him a tyrant and accusing him of attempting to censor political speech. Despite Musk's resistance, Starlink's compliance will prevent further action, such as equipment seizures. Starlink serves over 250,000 Brazilian customers, providing crucial internet access to remote areas. While Brazil is an important market for the company, it holds a minor share of the country's internet market. Now it's time for global updates. Human Rights Watch reported on Wednesday that Venezuelan security forces and pro-government armed groups were involved in killings during protests after the country's disputed July presidential election. The report cited credible evidence linking Venezuela's National Guard and National Police to 24 deaths that occurred amid the unrest. Violent gangs aligned with the ruling party were also implicated in some of the killings. The organization's findings were based on interviews with witnesses, reviews of death certificates, and analysis by forensic experts. The protests erupted after President Nicolas Maduro was declared the winner, with demonstrators taking to the streets across Venezuela. While initially peaceful, the protests saw statues toppled and confrontations with law enforcement. Human Rights Watch highlighted the case of Ranque's Daniel Izara Bolivar, who was killed by a bullet during a demonstration in Maracay. The report described how security forces responded with force, arbitrary detentions, and prosecutions. The lack of transparency in election results and the subsequent crackdown have drawn global condemnation. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feast. Welcome Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest global updates. Canada's New Democratic Party announced on Wednesday that it has ended its support agreement with Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's Liberal government, creating political uncertainty as the country faces the possibility of an election. NDP leader Jagmeet Singh revealed the decision on social media, criticizing Trudeau for allegedly bowing to corporate interests. Singh accused the Liberals of failing Canadians and said they no longer deserved support. The NDP had agreed to back the Liberals after the 2021 federal election, which resulted in a Liberal minority government. This confidence and supply deal was set to last until June 2025. In return, the NDP had secured advancements in policies like dental care for low-income Canadians and plans for a national pharmacare program. However, the Liberals have seen a drop in support while the Conservatives have gained momentum. Singh defended the NDP's move, citing concerns about potential Conservative cuts to government programs. The NDP's decision does not automatically trigger an election but leaves the option of voting no confidence open, with the possibility of an election looming. A report on the 2017 Grenfell Tower fire highlighted decades of failures by government, regulators, and the construction industry. The blaze, which killed 72 people, was the deadliest in Britain since World War II. The inquiry, led by retired Judge Martin Moore-Big, found that a mix of dishonest companies, weak regulations, and government complacency turned Grenfell Tower into a death trap. The report concluded that there was no single cause for the disaster. Instead, it was the result of flammable cladding used during a 2016 refurbishment, combined with inadequate fire safety measures and poor oversight. Companies involved, such as Celotex, Kingspan, and Arconic, were accused of dishonesty regarding the safety of their products. Prime Minister Keir Starmer apologized for the tragedy and promised to implement the report's recommendations. While the report provided some answers, survivors and families are still waiting for justice. Police are expected to review the findings before deciding on potential charges, which may not come until late 2026. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. Unseeded Karolina Muchova advanced to the US Open semifinals for the second consecutive year after defeating Brazil's Beatriz Haddad Maia 6-1, 6-4 on Wednesday. This victory came in only Muchova's sixth tournament back since recovering from a wrist injury sustained at the 2023 US Open. Muchova, who resumed playing in June, needed medical treatment during the second set but managed to win the match in 85 minutes. It was a little weird match, Muchova admitted after reaching her fourth Grand Slam semifinal. I had some problems and had to run to the bathroom, but I am glad I managed it. Muchova started strong, securing a 4-0 lead with two breaks of serve. Haddad Maia improved in the second set but struggled with breathing issues and required medical attention. Muchova eventually sealed her win with an ace on her first match point. American swimmer Lynn Smith achieved a remarkable comeback on Tuesday by winning gold in the women's 100-meter freestyle S3 at the Paralympics. Smith, who is 36 and from Massachusetts, set a new Paralympic record with a time of 1 minute and 28.81 seconds. Marta Fernandez Infante of Spain won silver, while Australia's Rachel Watson took bronze. Smith's victory was especially poignant as it came just 2 years after a severe health setback. In 2022, she suffered a partially collapsed lung and faced a prolonged recovery, including losing the ability to breathe, speak, and eat. She shared her struggles on Instagram, describing how she had to relearn basic functions during her intensive rehabilitation. Despite these challenges, Smith's determination and hope never wavered. She has now returned to the water, earning a gold medal and proving that with perseverance, seemingly impossible feats can be achieved. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 19,001.92. The NYSE Composite is decreased by 15.50 points or 0.08%. Tokyo stock close price is 37,047.61. The Nikkei 225 index is decreased by 1,638.70 points or 4.24%. Shanghai stock close price is 2,784.28. The Shanghai index is decreased by 18.70 points or 0.67%. Hong Kong stock close price is 17,457.34. The Hang Seng index is decreased by 194.15 points or 1.10%. Bombay stock close price is 82,352.64. The Sensex index is decreased by 202.80 points or 0.25%. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. Biden administration announces actions against Russian election manipulation. Trump admitted he lost 2020 election by a narrow margin. Trump says he has exacting plan for Ukraine and China. Judge tells Trump campaign to stop playing Isaac Hayes' song during events. At least 4 killed, 30 injured in shooting at Appalachian High School in Georgia. Former NY8 and husband accused of taking bribes from China. Elon Musk's Starlink agrees to suspend X in Brazil following court order. Venezuelan security forces linked to fatalities in post-election protests, says Human Rights Watch. New Democratic Party withdraws support for Trudeau's Liberals. Grenfell Tower fire inquiry accuses UK government and firms of grave failures. Karolina Mukova defeats Haddad Maya to advance to US Open semis. And American swimmer Lynn Smith secures gold medal 2 years after lung collapse. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel and visit our websites. Our website addresses are www.millenniumnews24.com and www.millenniumtv24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all the TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide.